Grug sitting by fire one evening. Young cave person runs up, very excited, eyes wide, breathing fast. Grug, he says, I found the future of money. It is called cave coin. No big chief controls it. No tooth council can inflate it. Pure mathematical magic. Price going up every day. Getting in now before everyone else discovers it. Grug asks, what does cave coin actually do? Young cave person pauses. Says, it goes up. Grug asks again, but what problem does it solve? What does it enable? Young cave person says, it goes up really fast though. Grug nods slowly. Grug has seen this before. Next day, old skeptical cave elder hears about cave coin. Elder laughs loudly. Biggest nonsense I have heard since tulip bubble of 1637, elder says. Imaginary coins for imaginary problems. Zero value, pure speculation. Everyone who buys will lose everything. Grug sits between young excited cave person and old dismissive elder. And Grug thinks, both of you are partially right and partially wrong. Today Grug cut through the noise on cryptocurrency. No hype, no fear, just honest analysis. First, Grug explained what cryptocurrency actually is. In traditional money system, Big Chief's Tooth Council controls the supply of teeth. They decide how many exist. They can create more whenever they choose. They keep records of who owns what in their official cave ledger. You must trust them to be honest and competent. Cryptocurrency is an attempt to create money without trusting any central authority. Instead of one official cave ledger controlled by Tooth Council, thousands of cave ledgers held simultaneously by thousands of different cave people all over the world. Every transaction is recorded on all of them simultaneously. To change any record, you would need to change thousands of ledgers simultaneously. Mathematically nearly impossible. This shared ledger system is called a blockchain. Grug explains blockchain simply. Imagine every transaction in cave economy written on a stone tablet. That tablet is chained to previous tablet, which is chained to tablet before that, going all the way back to very first transaction. Change anything on any tablet and the chain breaks. Entire network immediately sees the break. Invalid, rejected. This makes blockchain records essentially tamper-proof. No central authority needed to verify. Mathematics verifies. This is genuinely innovative technology. Grug acknowledges this clearly. The question is not whether blockchain technology is interesting. It clearly is. The question is, which specific applications create real lasting value, and which are speculation, fraud, or solutions looking for problems? Grug carves on cave wall. Bitcoin versus everything else. Grug spends significant time studying cryptocurrency landscape. And Grug concludes that Bitcoin occupies fundamentally different category from almost all other cryptocurrencies. Here is why. Bitcoin was created in 2009 by anonymous creator known as Satoshi Nakamoto. Fixed maximum supply, 21 million Bitcoin. Ever. No more. No CEO. No company. No central control. No marketing department. No venture capital investors waiting to sell. Decentralized network running for 15 years without significant interruption. Most secure, most tested, most liquid cryptocurrency by enormous margin. Bitcoin's value proposition is specific and coherent. Digital scarcity. Store of value. Censorship-resistant money. Like digital gold with fixed supply that no government can inflate. Whether you agree with this value proposition or not, it is at least a clear and specific proposition. Bitcoin is trying to solve a specific problem. Sound money not controlled by any government or institution. Now Grug looks at the other 20,000 plus cryptocurrencies that exist. Most of them have a founding team that owns large percentage of supply. Venture capital investors waiting to sell at profit. Marketing teams actively promoting price increases. Vague use cases involving blockchain technology solving problems that existing solutions already solve more efficiently. Token prices that depend entirely on finding next buyer at higher price. Grug recognizes this pattern. When an asset's value depends on finding someone who will pay more rather than underlying utility, that is speculation. Sometimes speculation creates real gains for early participants, always creates losses for those who arrive late. Grug is not saying all non-Bitcoin cryptocurrency is worthless. Some projects have genuine technology. Ethereum introduced smart contracts that enable genuinely new applications. Some blockchain applications in finance, supply chain, and digital ownership have real merit. But Grug is saying the vast majority of tokens are either scams or will eventually reach zero as projects are abandoned. How does Grug tell the difference? Grug carves framework for evaluating any cryptocurrency. Question 1. What specific real-world problem does this solve that cannot be solved more efficiently by existing technology? Grug is very strict about this question. Blockchain technology is slower, more expensive, and more energy-intensive than centralized databases for most applications. It only makes sense when decentralization, removing the need to trust a central party, is genuinely necessary. If answer to question 1 is vague, involves buzzwords without substance, or is essentially just a new way to speculate, Grug moves on. Question 2. Who created this and what are their incentives? Anonymous creator who does not hold large supply and has no financial incentive to hype price, more credible. Named founders who hold 20% of supply and have venture capital backers. Incentives are to market aggressively and eventually sell their holdings. This does not make it automatically a scam. But understand the incentive structure clearly. Question 3. Does this token need to exist or is it just a fundraising mechanism? Many projects created tokens not because they were necessary, but because selling tokens is a way to raise money without regulatory oversight. Initial coin offerings raised billions of teeth from retail investors in 2017 and 2018. Most projects delivered nothing. Most tokens eventually reached zero. Grug notes, in traditional business, if founders raise money and deliver nothing, there are legal consequences. In much of crypto space, this happened thousands of times with minimal consequences. Question 4. Is price going up the primary reason people are buying this? Grug walks through Valley and asks people why they bought various crypto tokens. Most answers involve price going up. When the primary use case of an asset is buying it because price goes up, that is a speculative bubble. Grug now addresses crypto scams specifically. Rug pulls, project launches, raises large amount of teeth, founders suddenly disappear. Pump and dump. Large holders accumulate cheaply, market it to retail, price rises, then they sell everything at the top. Celebrity endorsement scams. Influential cave person paid to promote token. Token has no substance. Followers buy and lose everything. Grug has watched all 3 of these patterns repeat hundreds of times. Grug sits down and gives honest personal assessment. What does Grug actually think about crypto as investment? Bitcoin, Grug views as speculative asset with coherent value proposition and longest track record in space. Has survived multiple 80% crashes and recovered. Has been declared dead by mainstream media over 400 times. Still exists. Still being used. Adoption growing among institutions and governments. Grug would not call Bitcoin safe investment. It is volatile. It can drop 80% and stay down for years. It has no earnings, no cash flows, no intrinsic value in traditional sense. Its value depends on continued belief in its value proposition, but it has genuine properties that differentiate it from most other crypto assets. Fixed supply, decentralization, security, network effects, liquidity. 4. Cave people with high risk tolerance and long time horizon, small allocation might be rational. Grug emphasizes small. Ethereum and major smart contract platforms. Genuine technology with real use cases. Still highly speculative. Still extremely volatile. Even more dependent on specific technology bets than Bitcoin. Everything else, Grug approaches with extreme caution. For every legitimate project Grug finds, he finds 10 that are speculation or outright fraud. The burden of proof should be very high. How much should Grug allocate to crypto? Grug's framework. Only money you can genuinely afford to lose completely. Not as pessimism, but as honest risk assessment. Crypto markets have shown repeatedly they can lose 90% of value and stay down for years. For most cave people building long-term wealth, crypto allocation of 0% to 5% of total portfolio is reasonable range. 0 if you are uncomfortable with extreme volatility or do not understand what you are buying. Small allocation if you understand the risks. Never. Taking loans to buy crypto. Investing money needed for near-term expenses. Putting large percentage of savings into any single crypto asset. Buying a token because someone on social media told you it will go up. Grug has simple test for any crypto investment. If the price went to 0 tomorrow, would the technology or product still have users? If yes, might have genuine value. If no, if the only reason it exists is the price going up, then you are not investing. You are gambling. You are gambling on finding a buyer who will pay more than you did. Often it does not work, and the losses are severe. Grug's final words on cryptocurrency. Blockchain technology is genuinely innovative. Bitcoin has coherent value proposition. Most other cryptocurrencies are speculation at best, fraud at worst. Crypto should be small part of diversified portfolio at most. Never borrow to buy crypto. Never put essential savings in crypto. And if someone is telling you about guaranteed returns, that is a scam. Tribe is divided on crypto. Grug is not divided. Grug is cautious, informed, and allocates small amount with eyes fully open. Next video, Grug discovers how the banking system actually works. Tribe thinks banks keep their teeth safe in a vault. What Grug finds will genuinely shock most cave people. Do not miss it.